What's up, y'all? It's the Relentless Love Podcast, where we're stirring up passion and purpose for marriage.
That's right. We're diving into topics you always wanted to talk about. Real life, real struggles, real love, and real results. So what are we waiting for? Let's go
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Relentless Love Podcast. Man, my name is Brock Jones, and this is
Dominique Jones.
my beautiful wife, man. Y'all see it, man. Hey, so we want to welcome you into our world, man. Relentless Love is an amazing, amazing journey that me and Dominique have been on. 15 plus years of marriage, man. Trying to figure this thing out, man. You know, it's a journey, it's an adventure. Yeah. But we've grown so much, man. We've seen so much, we've healed so much, we've worked so hard to get to this point to where we're not just surviving, we're thriving. Yes. And we want to share that experience with y'all, man. We want to bring you into our world. We want to help y'all. We want to keep it real and relevant and just have great conversations, man, and fill y'all in on what Relentless Love is. Right?
Yes. So expect hopefully weekly releases where we're going to just share kind of from our experiences, some wisdom, some tools, but we want to hear from you.
Facts.
So make sure you connect with us on social media. You can email, text us. Let us know what you need, what you want, because this is about you. We want to resource you.
That's right, man. Trying to pour into you guys, man. So y'all might be wondering, like, what is Relentless Love? What is Relentless Love coaching? Like, what are y'all doing? We kind of know a little bit, but we don't. Listen. Relentless Love is us wanting to empower couples to pursue passion and purpose within their marriage. Listen, we went through 15 years of not really having a lot of people to mentor us, to guide us, to empower us and resource us so that we can pursue each other in the right way, so that we can view marriage in the right way, and so we can embrace each other, our differences, our strengths, our weaknesses, so that we can work together as a team and accomplish the God-given purpose that he had for us and putting us together. And so we want to be able to be a resource to those couples out there. We have seen so much. And y'all already know, y'all heard the facts about marriages, about how many end in divorce, about how many are separating and how families are being torn apart. We don't like that. We don't like that.
Yeah, we're just tired of sitting with couples and just seeing them give up just shy of a breakthrough. And so what we've learned in our own life, but also like being trained and equipped as mediators, we want to share those tools because they really are game changing.
Facts. Y'all know how bad communication can get, man. Y'all know how bad things can get. You all had each other's thought. You're like, how do we communicate? Yes. We've been there. We separated early in our marriage, almost divorced, man. And one of the primary reasons was because we didn't know how to talk to each other, man. And I'll take responsibility as a man. I was lost, man. I got married. We got married young and really didn't know and understand a lot of things. And it almost tore us apart, man. And through the grace of God, we stand here today and are able to testify that when you learn and grow and put the work in, you can make it, man. So don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah. And people look at us and they marvel like, wow, y'all are a power couple. Man, your family is so beautiful. But they don't know the journey. They don't know the price. They don't know the sacrifices. They don't know the work we put in. So with that said, this episode, we're going to actually start by sharing our story, how we met. And it'll be, a few episodes where we really get y'all hear the nitty gritty. Some of y'all never heard some of this stuff.
Man, listen, we got a story, man. It's unique. Everybody does. Ours is unique. We love ours, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. But we were in Houston, man. I was in Houston, Texas, 2008. I had born and raised in Pittsburgh, Texas, graduated and said, I want to get away from the small town. There's nothing here. So I moved to Houston and lived up there about 5 years. And I was there just learning to be a man in my early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, trying to find my way, And I was working at Coca-Cola Enterprises, what I mean, in Houston. And I was working part-time on the side at 24-hour fitness, man, just kind of getting some gas money, extra $100, $200, working evening shift there. And I was there one evening, man, and this woman walked in. I'm like, yo.
It was daytime. It was daytime.
Yeah, in the evening. I was like, yo, who is this? Who is this woman? She's beautiful. She walked in. She had an afro. You know what I mean? Just very Afrocentric. I always joke saying like she reminded me of the lady on Dead Presidents. Just that, if you know, the lady that was on Dead Presidents, man. Yes. But she reminded me. It was beautiful, man. And she just had an aura about her. And I was like, yo, y'all need to hire her. because I need to work beside her. I wasn't the man I am today. I still had some ways about me, man. Arrogant, cocky.
Two cell phones on the hip. You already know.
I was that dude. I was that dude, man. You know. But I was like, man, y'all gotta hire her, and she ended up getting the job, and we ended up kind of crossing paths and rubbing shoulders with each other, man. And it was a good experience for me. She might have a different story, but it was I was enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, a little bit about me. So I'm originally from Louisiana, and Hurricane Katrina, a whole story that maybe we'll get to in the podcast. But God used that to really transplant me to the Houston area. I met the Lord there. And so fast forward 2 years later, I'm walking in for this job because I started studying dance. And that was the whole thing of me rediscovering my passions. And so I needed this job so I can go to school during the day. And so I wanted to work nights. Brock was working evenings. And so I did get the job. And in that time, we had to work together. And so I distinctly remember like having to count the drawer. Before the shift changed over, we both worked the front desk. We weren't like trainers. So and that is not Brock's strong suit.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It
Count
is what
money,
it is.
Anything administrative.
I'm like, round it up.
Yes.
Round it up,
yes.
man. We close.
Which got on my nerves because if you know me, I'm very meticulous about business. And so anyway, we definitely got to see different sides of each other.
Right.
But we had to learn early on how to work together. And he grew on me. So the story is...
Nah, come on. Keep it a buck.
For Valentine's Day, again, I love dance. So I wanted to go salsa dancing. And I didn't want to go to downtown Houston by myself. So I didn't consider it a date. In hindsight, for real, I didn't think of it that way. But I was like, hey, you're not doing nothing? Let's go salsa
She
dancing.
asked me out on a date, y'all.
I did. I
Keep it a buck.
to
you know
come
what I mean?
salsa dancing.
It was cool though. Like that was different for me. The Holy Spirit. Quick nugget, man. You know, sometimes a person that's supposed to be for you may not be your typical like this fits the description of who Dominique was totally different than the women that I was involved with in my past. And the women in my past, they were good women, but Dominique was different, right?
And same for me, Brock. Yeah. I mean, especially the vibe he was giving off, kind of feeling himself a little too much, wasn't my thing. So I wasn't interested in that respect.
Right. And salsa dancing was different for me. That's kind of why I was in there. Like, it was a whole different experience, but it was different in a good way. And so that wasn't normal for me to be like, yo, Friday night, Saturday night, let's go to the salsa joint. You know what I mean? But she invited me, and I didn't dismiss it or stiff arm it, right? And I'm not a man that's just a yes man. I could have been like, you know. But I was like, yo, she's beautiful. She's great. And this is new and feels good. So let's do it. So we went downtown and went salsa dancing on Valentine's. She asked me out, you know. And we had a good time. It was fun. We was in there. You know what I mean? Getting busy. It was folks in there. It was funny.
Air slapping.
The culture of salsa and all that was new because I'm just young African American person. So I'm in there, and there's these guys in there just cold. They like, but they like looking at me like in an arrogant type way, like, yeah, bro, you don't know how to do this. Like, what you doing? And so I'm like, I still got a little rough side of me where like you see somebody mugging you kind of like, and I had to resist that because I'm like, I don't think they trying to like buck at me, but I'm also on a date. I don't want to like mess this up, but it was a vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was picking up on it, and call it what it is, insecurity.
Yeah.
But we made it through, and it was a great memory. We had a good time. Right. And I think that, nothing serious happened after that, but I think slowly we began maybe talking outside of work, talking a little more, and I think by May 4th, I want to say.
Yeah, it was around May when we kind of made it official. I was like, man, you want to be my girl? Like, and it was good. Like, she had a lot of qualities about herself that were helping me grow because I was in a seeking period. I was coming out of some toxic relationships where, the ball landed in I was the one to blame. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of like messing this thing up in regards to dating and all of that. I want to do right by the next person that comes into my life. And I want to do right by you. A good woman, man. And you had goals, and you were goal driven, and you had your faith. I see you with your Bible, and you was like, it was real. I was like, I want that. You know, we had a great time together. So I'm like, man, you be my girlfriend. Yeah. You know, and May we made it official, and you became my girl.
Yeah. And for me, you know, I was coming out of a season where I struggled, you know, to stay pure and all of that. So I was like, listen, I'm good. I'm finally good with just me and the Lord, and just focused on the plan and the purpose he had for me. So I was like, my nose was always in the book. I'm at work, either in the Bible or in my studies. So I really wasn't looking for that, but I felt that. So I just remember praying like, Lord, I need to know this is something worth pursuing. I don't want to waste time. I don't have time to waste, even though I was young, but I was on a mission. And so, you know, I remember we went to Taco Cabana. That was our first official date. And let's just say Brock is very passionate about communication and debate. And coming from a family where we didn't communicate, we didn't talk about things, and we just kind of shut down and went in our own world. So I ended up walking out, y'all. Walking out of Taco Cabana because it got so heated. I was like, this is foolishness. I'm done.
Yeah, and it was probably trivial. I don't even remember what we were talking about. It wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
But again, people bring their backgrounds into relationships, right? And y'all attest to that. We bring our family culture, we bring our friendship culture, we bring our own just wiring. And so, like she said, communication styles are different. I came from a background where we talked about it, you know, and passion will go, and you talk through it and get through it, and either you agree and, you know, whatever, or you don't, but you talk it out. And even my friendships, we would be in the apartment and we'd be, man, no, that ain't it. And we cool, right? But that was what I brought. And so I brought that to Taco Cabana.
It was a little too much.
And it was a little, you know, and she was like, man, I'm out. And food on the table, you know what I'm saying? Just walked out. Like, I'm like, yo, what happened? We was on a date. Yeah. Like, what? I'm confounded because I didn't think that it was a thing, but she was triggered. Yeah. And she left. And so I left. And I don't know if y'all ever did the phone call thing where you try to pick up the phone and call, and then it's not ringing, and you look down, and it's because your phone is ringing. Yeah. So I'm getting to my apartment, and I'm like, man, that was messed up, man. I need to call, apologize. And I pick up the phone to do that, and I look down, and guess who was calling me?
I was calling him. Yeah. So even though I was like, I can't do this, this is too much, but something was still drawing my heart. So we ended up talking all night. Mm-hmm. So we did see there is something there. We were able to communicate in that way. Right, so we made it work. And fast forward, I was living with a friend at the time, and you know, for different dynamics, I didn't feel safe living there. And so Brock was gracious to say, hey man, why don't you come stay at the crib, which was uncharacteristic for him. Yeah, definitely, man. I had tons of trust issues. I wasn't a loner in the sense that I didn't have friends and stuff. I had tons of friends and all of that kind of stuff. But my space and my apartment and all that was mine. And I've just seen a lot, heard a lot. So I always had parameters around people knowing where I'm at, knowing this and that, or staying with me and all that. But this was like, it was just different. I kind of felt like a hero in a little bit. Like, man, come, I got you. Like, I'm going to protect you. If you unsafe, I got you. I used to even come up to 24. I don't even remember. While I was working.
She used to work overnight shift.
Make sure I was good. Because they have some characters in there after 11 o'clock.
Facts, man. So I used to go over there and stay like overnight with her as she worked overnight shift just to keep her company. I wanted to be around her, you know what I mean? But I also kind of wanted to be the hero, like, hey, is anybody, you safe? Mm-hmm. And so this was one of those things where she felt uncomfortable, and I was like, you know what, man, come stay with me. I got you till you can get everything figured out. Mm-hmm. And we got a chance to experience what it's like to live with each other. Yes.
And I will say, like, we did it right.
Facts,
and so despite what people say about living in sin, we weren't living in sin. Like, I remember one moment where it was really hard and
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
almost
yeah.
gave in, but we were able to like at least stick to my convictions. And I'm grateful that you honored that.
Yeah, I had respect for you. It wasn't like I was trying to pursue sex. I wasn't trying to pursue that. It wasn't like a lustful pursuit. So I wasn't like, yeah, come stay with me so I can kind of like, you know what I mean, do my thing. I can get you. Yeah. It wasn't like that. It was a genuine care, concern, right? Like, so it wasn't, I didn't have an agenda.
Yeah, because I had no family. I'm out of state. And for different reasons, the living arrangements I had didn't work out. But it was a great opportunity for us to grow together. I think a different level of intimacy. We would stay up all night watching movies, fall asleep watching movies. Facts. But we also got to experience some conflict.
Yeah, everybody got their things, it's right? Your comforts, your system, right? So I had a system in my apartment, you know what I mean? How I did things, and then she came in with a different,
trying to improve the system,
a different ideology. You know what I'm saying? so I used to use solo cups for drinking and for all those things, but I also used to use it as a sink stopper. When I couldn't find a sink stopper, I would put the solo cup in there. Y'all know. Don't act like y'all ain't never did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm resourceful, so don't play me. But nah, so I had that. I had a couple of them, one or two of them that I used for stoppers, and I think you were either cleaning up or straightening up.
I was washing the dishes, and I got the cups mixed up. So instead of keeping the cups and him drinking out of a sink stopper cup, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just throw it away and we'll get a new one.
Yeah.
He lost it. He went left. And it was, what it really was passive aggression of, man, this woman is coming into my space and infiltrating. And it was like all these emotions bottled up, and they just came out behind a red solo cup, y'all.
Yeah. I would agree that it was territorial. Yeah. It was, men, y'all can attest to like not wanting your, at the time, my girlfriend, right? But my significant other, however you want to frame it, I didn't want her being my mama, and it kind of felt mama-ish. Like, man, mama, come on, man, you know what I mean? And so it made me react in a way to where I kind of got like, I need to be dominant here and kind of enforce that this is mine. And that wasn't the right response, but it was what it was. And I think at that point you was kind of like, all right, man, I'm finna dip.
Yeah, I ran again, and we'll talk about that later. That was kind of my MO, withdrawing. But at that time, I was also like really seeking God about what's next for me. I was torn between going to a school closer to Houston or a school, TWU in Denton, to study dance. And I was feeling drawn to go to Denton. So I was like, man, you know what? He's tripping. Let me just go home for the summer, get myself right and ready before starting this new journey. And, you know, I wanted to be a dance educator. So I went home and really got to do some soul searching and make sure part of that, you know, was just about me, but there was an element of, okay, where's this relationship going? Because I don't want to keep wasting time. And randomly, you told me you felt, you know, like you needed to make a move to Dallas. And I took that as the confirmation I have been praying about and seeking God about, that we're at least moving in the right direction, like literally, geographically. But that was enough to like keep holding on. So
right. Yeah. I was trying to find myself still, and I was trying to get out of certain environments. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I was around crowds I shouldn't have been around. I had some great friends in Houston, but I also was dabbling in some things that could have ruined my life. And as I was in that turning point stage of like, man, I need to kind of get grounded. I need to get a new start. I need to get my spirit right. I need to kind of do some soul searching. I was like, Dallas is a little closer to home. It's not home, but it's a little closer. And Dallas has probably got a great market to get jobs and all that. So I was like, you know what? This would be a new adventure I can go on and kind of maybe get some things going. So I'm like, I'll move to Dallas and see what's up. And so that was August 2008. Mm-hmm. And I think I told you that. And you was telling, you was like, yo, I think I'm going to TWU. I'm like, what? Okay, so what's up here? Like we trending we trending a certain way, and that was a cool experience. I got a job, and I was living in Mesquite for a minute with my aunt until my apartment came available in September. And you moved on campus
I did.
at TW, so I was there with you on opening day. What's it called?
I don't know, but what I remember,
student day, so whatever the student day is, campus day,
welcome, you know,
welcome
all the
week,
welcome stuff.
whatever. Yeah.
So I remember distinctly, like, we had such a good time. You didn't want to leave. You stayed. We were up all night watching the Olympics at the time.
Oh yeah,
remember
yeah.
Power
Oh, the
walk?
power walk. Ah, bro, y'all, hey, what is that event? Like, cancel that joint. That joint is that's weird.
But we realized, man, it's so hard. Like, we got used to being together and living together. And I remember you saying, like, this ain't right. You're supposed to be with me. Like, I don't want to leave. I don't want you to leave.
Right.
And so we began talking, like, well, if we're going to do this again, if we're going to live together again, we got to do it right. Because the chemistry was building, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so I was like,
the blood was pumping. You know what I mean? The kisses and stuff were getting a little bit more passionate, a little bit more like, yo, hold up. But I definitely remember like not wanting to leave you there. Like, this don't even feel right. You way over here in Denton. I mean, like Dallas, Garland, Mesquite area, way out there. And I was just like, man, that's my wife. You know what I mean? Like, that's my wife out here. And then you kind of like, you set some godly boundaries, like, man, you know, we gonna do this, we gonna do it, like, we're not gonna be, and I had to respect that, you know what I mean, because I was feeling the same way. I think that it was a man up moment, like, yo, you know what's up, you know that this is your wife, and that she is making you better, and you're growing. And I think, did you come home at that time already, or did we?
Oh no, I didn't.
It wasn't at that. Mm-hmm. It was a proposal, I think. I can't remember. You can. How did that pan out?
At your apartment.
Right.
Well, before that, you know, we both had met the parents.
That's what I mean. I think
home.
It
was a process after that, but we both got to meet the parents, and I think we both had a sense of peace. Mm-hmm. We had already both kind of heard from God.
Right.
I knew it was gonna be hard, right? Because we met in January. We were dating by May. We're like in September. Right.
8 months.
Yeah, you proposed.
Proposed, man. It wasn't glamorous, but it was in my mind. I'm like, yo, this was. I tried to share my heart. I proposed, had Genuine playing. You know what I'm saying?
He used the song.
Yeah.
To speak for him.
Yeah, got on my knee and said, "Will you be my wife?" Yeah. And we did it. That was September.
Let's get married.
I did. I'm in love.
I'm in love.
Genuine. I'm in love. Look it up, fellas. Use it. But
and it was sweet. I knew that was out of his comfort zone, so it was romantic. Like, I was just excited. Like I said, I knew it would be work because of our lack of communication and being so young. I was 24.
Yeah,
you had just turned 23.
Yeah, I was 23. So we was very, very young, man. Still trying to figure things out.
But I would say there's never a perfect time. Like, I hear people, oh man, I'm gonna wait until I graduate college, and I'm gonna save up. Like, that's fine. Everybody's experience is different. Right. But there's no not to, like, we knew after 9 months, we knew, and we had peace. Now, what I will say, we didn't do premarital counseling, and I wanted it. He wasn't feeling it. Right. And I should have put my foot down, but I didn't. We'll talk about that next time. But we both knew, and we were excited. So we filed. Mm-hmm. We went to the courthouse.
Yeah. And did it.
And we did.
We did it. Got married, man. It was beautiful. We knew we was doing the right thing. It felt good. It felt right. We had to, like, I don't want to say block out the noise. It wasn't noise. We had support. Yeah. But we also had people like, yo, what you doing? Like, I had friends that was like, man, what? Like, I figured I'd be the last one out of my people to get married, but I was the first one that was like changing. And I had some energy coming that I had to really block out. Like, no, this is my life. This is my journey. This is where we're going, and this is right. And so, I'm doing it. And we did it. And I think that was the greatest decision, besides, receiving Jesus in my life that I've ever made, you know?
Yeah, I fell in love. I just remember God's showing me who you are now. And I know you felt some type of way, or maybe you still do, but I think for me, not knowing you that long, but I saw your heart. I saw who you really were. And that gave me confidence that I was making the right decision and I could trust you to lead me, even though we had our challenges.
Right.
So.
Dun, 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 dun.
So
stay tuned for the next episode of Relentless
we will
Love.
get into, like, we had a honeymoon baby. Like, we had so many obstacles and odds stacked against us.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
But God saw us through. So we'll share that next time. But Brock, what wisdom would you share with anybody, young couples, maybe couples who are already married but in the early stages? What encouragement would you share with them about, like, what we learned in our dating season and when we met early on?
I think just like embrace the difference and the newness of it. You know, don't have an agenda. Don't have preconceived expectations of how things will go. If it's different than what you feel like, you know, some people map out I want a person that's like this, like that, like this, da 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 da, and it's different. Don't rule it out or judge a book by its cover. Just kind of go and be sensitive. I didn't have like a super deep relationship with God, but I had a knowing inside of me that was like, this is kind of for me. This is making me better. Yeah. It's challenging me to grow and mature. And it's supportive and gracious, and so that was some breadcrumbs for me. You know what I mean? To let me know, like, okay, this is peaceable and like pursue this. And if you see red flags, then but like go. And so I would just say, like, don't have an agenda. Just kind of learn people, grow, and have a discerning about yourself, and don't box people in to fit your
or box God in.
Facts, man.
Because neither one of us felt like, you know, we were our type, but we felt God, like, changing our hearts and like redirecting our hearts.
Yeah. That would be my thing, is just kind of take that approach.
Well, I would say to anybody, women, men, like, you have to make sure you're complete and content within yourself before you try to, like, bring your life together with somebody else. If you're looking for somebody to complete you, you're not ready. Yeah. Like, I went through a lot of self-development and, like, spiritually, but also personally before we got to that point. So like I said, when we met, like, I was focused. I wasn't interested. I remember feeling like, oh, I could go to the movies by myself. I can go out to eat. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. She was an independent woman.
I was an independent woman. We'll get to that next time.
Yeah.
And the challenges that brought. But I didn't need a man. So I would just encourage that to women, like, God completes you. Another man is not going to complete you. And same for the women. Like, you can bring your lives together and they complement each other, but you shouldn't complete one another.
That's a jewel. Hey, y'all better take notes, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
The second thing I'll say about that is I love that when I walked in and he saw that Afrocentric, all of that, like, it was a struggle for me to get to that point, like being satisfied and really loving myself the way I was without, like, I didn't need a relaxer anymore. I didn't need to dress a certain way. It took a process to get there, but that's what he was attracted to. And also my faith, like, I was unashamed about my faith. So women, if you have a great relationship with the Lord, like, don't lower that standard trying to, appease or be in a relationship. Like, if it's the right relationship, he's going to respect. And he wasn't even walking with the Lord like that. Right. But he respected the standard that I had for myself. And that was attractive to him. So I just want to encourage you, don't compromise for a relationship. If it's the right man, he's actually going to be drawn to that. And it's going to challenge him to be better. And the last thing I would share is, like, everybody's dating experience is different. So don't let the world define, don't let your parents, don't even let, like, your own standards define it. Like Brock said, just embrace it as it comes.
Right.
It doesn't have to take years to know that this is your spouse.
Right.
Now, yes, have a financial plan, but I will tell you, there's never a perfect time. There's always going to be challenges.
Right. Yeah.
And for us, it was 9 months. Like, we met and we were dating and got married within 9 months. And I don't regret that.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And hey, listen, if you know within a month or two that there's some red flags that you just ain't, you just don't need to, tap into or keep going with, please cut it off.
Yeah.
Like, don't be like, oh, well, they might change or da-da-da-da. There's some things that you just know, like, I get adios. Like, I don't need to dabble with that. This is not going to be it, So, like, do that too. Have that discerning of, like, there's just some things that ain't for you and leave. But we didn't sense that. And so, here we are, here we stand. But, man, thank y'all for listening. Relentless Love Podcast, man, where we are passionate about pursuing passion and purpose in marriage. Episode 2 coming up. Y'all don't want to miss it, man. Lock in with us.